Hey, what's up, everybody? Um, Wanted to do a quick video, well, sort of quick, about hand planes and what hand planes I use the most. Which ones are the most common for me, anyway. There's a huge debate about a number 4, a number 5. Some say a 6. Certain people use a joiner plane for everything. Some people use a number 5 for everything. I have 3 basically that I use, and I want to go through them real quick and share them with y'all. Yeah, if you notice, I'm missing a tooth. I had a kickback with a table saw, and I had a 2-inch thick piece of ash hit me right here in the mouth about a month ago and busted all the teeth out on this side. So, I'm sorry, it's there. Try to cover it up. Anyway, first one is this is my Stanley Type 17 4.5. I prefer the 4.5 over the number 4 because I have very, very, very big hands and I have more room on the tote. This one is, I got a great deal on this one. I have it set up for smoothing. I actually have a very, very, very slight camber to this blade. It's just what I prefer for smoothing. But this thing was in amazing condition. The Japanning is like 99, 98%. Has the Bakelite adjuster on the back. And I mean, the lateral is still like, amazingly tight on this thing. I'm in the process of getting all Hawk irons for mine. It's just what I prefer. But this thing is amazing to smooth with. I use it for small stuff. A lot of times I use it just because I'm like a hybrid woodworker, so I use it for getting the milling marks out of certain stuff. That's just what I use it for. And for those of y'all that don't know, the Type 17 was made during World War II, and the reason that a lot of people prefer this plane is because it has a lot thicker casting on it, and it's a lot heavier. I like it. You may not. If you don't, that's the cool thing about it is, people can do strokes for different folks. Anyway, trying to use the wrong size screwdriver, don't do that. Anyway, that's my 4.5. The next one, this is my Type 16, number 6, and this is probably my favorite plane. I use it for jointing. I use it for smoothing tabletops. It's a really good panel plane. I also have a wooden panel plane that I'm still learning how to use. But anyway, now this one does have a Hawk iron in it. I don't have the Hawk chip breaker yet because, those things ain't exactly cheap. But this thing holds, it's A1 steel. And this thing holds an amazing, amazing edge. It's beautiful. This one's also in great shape. To me, and I'm probably going to start a lot of arguments with this. For me, I build a lot of tables, a lot of dining tables. This is number 205 in 3 years. So for me, this is more useful than a number 5 and more useful than a jack plane, just for me. This is what I prefer. I like it because I can get my hand in there and it's more comfortable. I paid $20 for this plane, and it's got a hang hole, so, which I mean, I don't care. I use mine. I didn't do anything to it except flatten it, put a different iron in it, and I put this thing to work. And this thing is a workhorse. So there's that one. And now, yeah, they're dusty. I've been using them today. This is my Type 11 number 7. Y'all seen this in a lot of videos. As you can see, the rear tote is a replacement. I ordered it from a guy. This is Mesquite, and I shaped it a little bit more to fit my hand because the other one was broken. It was uncomfortable, and I didn't have a replacement, and this is what I went with. So this is the most used plane in my shop. The most used. I don't have a jointer, so when I go to get material to build a table, I look for the flattest boards possible with the best edges, and I join it all by hand. This one has its original blade. All of these have, except for the 4.5, are rosewood, and of course that replacement. But you can see the V logo, and it's still got a decent amount of life. I'd say about 1 inch in the blade, but as much as I use them, I'm going to put a hawk iron in it. It's just what I prefer. Some of you may not prefer those. That's what I prefer. Now, this is where I'm going to start a huge debate. Depending on what you use your hand plane for, if you're building jewelry boxes, you don't need a number 7. 4.5 would work good. If you're an adult male with a large hand, a number 4 can be uncomfortable. Even a number 5 can be uncomfortable. You can joint with a 4.5. You can. If you're making small things, my plane I would recommend to you as a first plane would be a 4.5. If you're like me and you're building like a lot of tables and doing a lot of edge joining 6 and, you know, flattening and things like that, if you can't afford a number 7, get a number 6. You can joint with a number 6. I've jointed 8-foot boards with a number 6 and it done just fine. You have to know what you're doing and pay a little more attention, but it works just fine. If you have the money and you can afford it, the number 1 plane I would recommend that you get if you're building bigger items like I do is a number 7. You can joint with it. You can flatten tabletops with it. You can set it up and smooth with it if you want to. I can smooth. You can set up any plane to be a smoother. You can joint with just about any of them except, you know, like a 3 or anything like that. I wouldn't recommend that, but I prefer the 4.5, the 6, and the 7. Now I do have a number 5 that's set up for a scrub plane. That's its only job. The number 6, you can camber the iron and make it a scrub plane. You know, get a couple of different blades for it and use it just as a scrub plane. So that's my recommendation. As far as sharpening goes, there's a huge debate. I'm always on a timeline. I want something quick, fast, and where I can get back to work. Show you. I use a double-sided diamond plate. It's 300 on one side, 1200 on the other. It is not a trend plate. This is made by Ultra Sharp, I believe. And I use 2 different strops. And some people ask why 2 different strops. It's what I prefer. I have one, this is horse butt. I prefer it over cowhide because it's stiffer and there's less chance of you rolling your edge back. I have this side, and I quit using this side, but I have this side, and then on this other one is half of it's for my carving tools, but on the back, this is a super stiff piece, but it's just a smooth piece of leather. And you know, it does what I need it to do. And I get a razor sharp edge. Most of the time with my joiner, I'll sharpen it up on my 1200, strop it a couple of times just to get rid of the burr, and I'm back to work. And I use Windex as cutting fluid. If you're on a budget, this right here altogether was 60 bucks. That's it. And you can get these on Amazon. So that's my recommendation. Hope y'all enjoy the video. Have a great day. Enjoy the first day of spring. Talk to you later.